What if humanity cracked the ultimate travel code, making the world accessible in an instant? But what if that miracle came with a chilling 1% chance of you turning into, well, anything else? Imagine stepping into a shimmering portal, the light consuming you for a microsecond, and then poof, you're not just across the city, you're across the world. Think about it, waking up in London, having breakfast in Tokyo, and catching a sunset over the Grand Canyon all before noon. Commutes would be a relic of the past, replaced by instant displacement. Families scattered across continents could share dinner every night. Business deals could be struck face to face in minutes, no matter the distance. The entire planet would shrink, becoming a vast interconnected neighborhood where every resource, every opportunity, every wonder was just a thought and a click away. Cities would spread out, no longer tethered by the limits of conventional transit. Pollution from vehicles would plummet, and the pace of life in some ways would become incredibly relaxed, free from the tyranny of travel time. It would be a new golden age where geographical barriers simply cease to exist, unlocking human potential on a scale we can barely comprehend. But here's the unsettling whisper, the dark cloud on this utopian horizon, that 1% chance. It's not a chance of dying. Oh no, that would be too simple, too merciful. Instead, it's a 1% chance of molecular scrambling. You step into the portal, your molecules are supposed to reassemble perfectly on the other side, but sometimes, just sometimes, the blueprint gets jumbled. Your atoms don't return to being you. They rearrange into a random object or creature. One moment you're a person, the next a rubber duck, or a houseplant, or a squirrel. A fully conscious, terrified squirrel trapped in its new furry body, unable to explain what just happened. The transformation is horrific, irreversible, and profoundly non fatal. You're still there, in some sense, aware but utterly irrevocably altered. This single tiny flaw would send shockwaves through every facet of society. Forget traditional insurance. Companies would either collapse or transform into behemoths offering transformation policies to cover the inevitable. What do you do with a scrambled person? Are they still citizens? Do they retain rights? If your spouse becomes a toaster, are you still married? If your child becomes a goldfish, are you still a parent? Legal systems already struggling with modern complexities would buckle under the weight of such absurd yet terrifyingly real questions. Social interactions would become a minefield of anxiety. Every goodbye could be the last time you see someone as themselves. The world would split: teleportation enthusiasts who see the 1% as an acceptable risk for ultimate freedom, and safe world advocates who retreat to conventional slow travel, preaching caution and fearing the metallic gleam of the teleportation arches. Dinner table conversations would turn to morbid lottery statistics. Did you hear about Brenda from accounting? She's a garden gnome now. The psychological toll would be immense. A new mental health crisis, teleportation stress, would grip the globe. Therapists would be inundated with patients grappling with survivors' guilt, the fear of their next jump, or the profound grief of losing loved ones to inanimate objects. Identity itself would become fluid, conditional. Who are you if you could at any moment become something entirely different? Every journey would be a philosophical gamble, a roll of the cosmic dice. The constant underlying dread, the knowledge that your very form, your consciousness, your human existence could be rearranged without warning would redefine what it means to be alive. People would develop rituals, lucky charms, or elaborate mental exercises to try and will their molecules into place, despite all scientific evidence that it made no difference. And the extreme scenarios, they would become urban legends, then horrifying headlines. Imagine a critical surgery underway, the lead surgeon steps into a sterile field and emerges as a perfectly functional but utterly useless scalpel. Or a world leader mid-speech, dissolving into a potted ficus tree on live television. The sheer absurdity would be juxtaposed with devastating personal tragedy. Beyond the public spectacle, a dark underbelly would emerge. A black market, people hoping to be scrambled into something better. What if you became a super intelligent AI or an indestructible diamond? What if you were a quadriplegic hoping for a chance at a healthy body, even if it meant risking becoming a fire hydrant? And what about those who become something truly monstrous, something terrifyingly alive? Would they be contained, researched, or simply disposed of? Naturally, the hunt for a cure or mitigation strategy would be relentless, leading to its own ethical minefield. What if scientists discovered a genetic marker, a biological susceptibility to scrambling? We could screen people. But then, Those identified as high risk would be barred from teleportation, creating a new class of second class citizens eternally tethered to the ground while others soared. Discrimination would flourish, based not on race or creed, but on molecular stability. Even more chilling, what if they developed a reset procedure? A way to turn a scrambled person back into their original form. The catch? The process would wipe their memories clean. They'd be you again, but a blank slate, a stranger inhabiting your body. Would that truly be a cure or merely a horrifying trade? What does it mean to be human if your essence, your memories can be erased and rebuilt? Does identity reside in the body or the mind? So, what would you do? With the world beckoning every corner accessible in an instant, would you step into that portal knowing there's a 1% chance you might emerge as a garden gnome, a sentient teapot, or a bewildered pigeon? Would you live your life forever tied to slower, safer travel? Or would you gamble on the ultimate freedom, knowing the price of failure is utterly bizarre yet irreversible? The future of teleportation and perhaps humanity itself rests on how we answer that terrifying question.